Hey all, Connor here from AR Insights. Let's quickly walk through a couple of recent enhancements to Architect, and let's do it through the lens of a specific scenario that should sound familiar to all of you. Let's say you recently did a series of inquiries with analysts from a few different firms with the goal of getting their takes on how much traction you can expect to gain in a new market that your ELT is considering entering. Now this kind of project, and I mean a lowercase p project, is exactly why we have uppercase P projects as a feature in Architect. So that as you're logging these inquiries in this series of inquiries, as you log them as interactions, you can associate each of them with one project as a way of keeping everything organized. Great. However, if you wanted to see or report the insights associated with this series of inquiries, this project, there wasn't a particularly easy way to do that in Architect until now. Because now, in addition to associating interactions with a project, you can also associate insights with a project. And in fact, when you associate an interaction, so in this case an inquiry, with a project, any insights associated with that interaction will be automatically associated with the project as well, as a way of saving you that step. Now, I'm throwing around a lot of Architect terminology. Why does any of this matter? So here we are in the Insights module in Architect. And what I've done here is something that wasn't possible before. What I've done is I've filtered down the insights to see just the insights associated with this one particular project. So in this case, this series of inquiries on a very specific subject. So why this matters is because you can now associate insights with a project, you can much more easily see and report on what you learned from that project. So in this case, it's now very easy to see what did we learn from this series of inquiries about this new market we're thinking about entering. So that when an executive comes to you and says, hey, we did like 10 or 12 calls with analysts about that new market. Like, what did we end up learning from all those calls? Answering that question from that executive is now much easier. You can do it, like I said, by coming to the Insights module and filtering down using the project filter just to that one particular series of inquiries. You could also go to your Insight Analytics and again, use the project filter to filter down to that series of inquiries. And the benefit of it doing it this way is that you benefit from the AI generated summary that's looking across the insights. So again, enhancement or update number one, you can associate insights with a project, which makes it easier to see and report on what you learn from analysts. Now, reporting on what you learn from analysts is one thing. Reporting on the business value or the business impact of those learnings is another thing. And that's what this next update is all about. Now, as all of you know, an analyst insight can translate into business value in a number of ways, right? It can translate into a better roadmap, a better sales motion, better positioning, you name it. And there's now a way, with this new update, there's now a way to capture that business value on the insight level in Architect. It's you do it by using what we call custom insight fields. Now, as a way of just level setting, here we are on an insight record in Architect. And what's always been true is that there are these default fields on the insight record, right? There's the category field, the sentiment field, the date field. What's new is that you can now, on an insight record in Architect, you can now have these custom fields. And there are many, many applications of custom insight fields, and that's a conversation your account team would be very happy to have on a one-to-one basis on a private call. For now, I just want to talk about one recommended application of custom insight fields. And this is something we recommend for all customers. And what it is what we call the action taken field. So in terms of the mechanics here, let's talk about the action taken field. So I got to this screen by going to Site, Site Admin, Insight Configuration. And now there's this custom fields toggle on this screen. So the action taken field, what is that? It's a drop-down field, and the drop-down options are things like add to roadmap, adjust messaging, sales enablement, case study, right? It's a way of specifying what happened as a result of this particular insight that you are logging in Architect. So if I go back to that insight record, you can see here that because we created this action taken field, now as I'm logging this insight, I can say that the action taken was we added something to our roadmap, we adjusted our messaging, sales, whatever it may be. So let's bring this back to our scenario of a series of analyst inquiries. By associating insights with a project, and by using a custom insight field to capture the actions that those insights drove, it's now very easy using Architect to see not only what you learned from your series of inquiries, but also the business value, what the business gained as a result of those learnings. So that, in a nutshell, is what's new with insights in Architect. As always, if you want to dive deeper, reach out to your account team. They'll be more than happy to show you the ropes. See you next time.